What's
Mm.
up? What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up? How's
What's up,
everybody
everyone?
doing?
What's my beautiful co-host?
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all feeling today?
Feeling great on this gloomy Sunday evening.
Look like a lot of sunlight coming out your window to me.
It's not, baby. This is artificial light. It is so gloomy. That's why, got the denim on, feeling kind of
Right, looking dope.
country and gloomy and cleavage.
Yeah. You a man today.
Letting it shuffle over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mel, you looking nice as always.
Thank you very much. Y'all know I'm over here trying to work these technical difficulties out so it's not a hot mess.
Right. Okay. Well, good. How
So let's tell the people what our topic is for today.
Yes. Our topic is Negroes and hot sauce. Negroes and hot sauce. What does that mean? What are we talking about today? It's very like, what? Negroes?
Like wait, what?
And hot sauce? Like,
I love hot sauce.
No. Right? So,
I actually don't eat hot sauce, believe it or not. I don't like hot sauce.
What?
You like Tabasco sauce? Like Tabasco, that's a different.
No, I don't like spicy food.
Yeah.
Give me some sauce. I love my peppers. I like it spicy, caliente.
Hey. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I don't like watermelon, so I can't.
I don't like the texture. It's like a wet.
I literally just started eating watermelon.
Really?
I just started eating watermelon. I was like, I'm not black. I must not be black because I don't like watermelon, but I tear it up now.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't like the sweetened, unsweetened. Even if you put sugar on it, it tastes the same. The only thing watermelon I like is dilators, and that's it.
Okay.
Other than that, I can't. I don't like it.
I was right into our topic about the stereotypes and Negroes. Some people think that word Negro very offensive when it's pretty much how you describe African American or a black person. We all know black is actually a color. It's not a race of people. We just got that label. So yeah, we were just thinking about a topic today that had to do with what's going on and what we see. And there was a meme that went around with the potential vice president, Kamala Harris. I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with who she is. And it was a caption. It said, "Oh, she's blackity black because she had a picture of hot sauce and she was putting it on her food." And I'm like, why is it that every time a person uses hot sauce or plays a saxophone or uses stereotypical items, they automatically get a black card? So it's like, is she black because she uses hot sauce, or is she black because her DNA, her heritage, and her culture is black? So, what do you guys think? Do you notice a trend especially when it comes to voting and campaigning for a person? Do you notice a trend where black people adopt a person of color because of something that they use, like they listen to a rap song or use hot sauce? Do you feel like we just adopt them automatically?
I mean, unfortunately, I believe so. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I think also it's almost insulting how they be coming at us. You know what I'm saying? Like doing things like we're dashikis, and they don't normally do that. And you know what I'm saying? Or
Nancy Pelosi was wearing a dashiki.
Yeah. I was like, I felt a little insulted because I was like, any other time if you wore it like on a regular basis non-different of some other stuff, then I would be like, oh, okay, cool. That's what she does. But if you just wearing it for the occasion, I feel some kind of way, and especially if you're Caucasian. I'm sorry, I keep putting that R in there. You know what I'm saying? Caucasian, and then it just gives a different feeling. But yeah, to see that, and then like, okay, she's putting the hot sauce on. There's actual white people that like hot sauce on their stuff too. So I guess we should give them a pass. Like, hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's insulting in so many ways, and I think it's also how I feel like in a way, I mean, they just doing anything. I don't think it's a thing where they intentionally like, okay, I'm just doing it. She was just eating her food, and if that's what she likes for flavoring, cool. But I think other people are just like really like simple minded to the point where it just don't take much for them to be like swayed, without doing their research and everything like that. Because I have issues with her, you know what I'm saying? But
what are some of those issues?
Ooh, then put me on the spot.
I mean, that's what it's about.
Wait, before Joe gets into his issues, I want to talk about real quick I want to give a name to exactly what it is that we seem to have a problem with when it comes to blacks and politics and getting the black vote. It's a term called identity politics. And I feel like a lot of, it's not just directed towards black people. They do it to, women. When I say they, I mean politicians. They pander to women. They pander to, LGBT community. But where it seems to be an issue is when they pander to black people and they use these identity politics with the hot sauce. I got hot sauce in my bag swag. Hillary Clinton, she tried to do that when she was running for president. Yeah. I remember she was on the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne asked her, are you pandering? He just came out and said it, like, are you pandering to black people? And she was like, really, literally said out her own mouth, well, is it working? No, it's not working. It's not working for people that's like woke, that's seeing what's going on. Like, just because you use hot sauce, and let's just be clear, Kamala, her name is Kamala. I always want to call her Kamala. She didn't just, pull out hot sauce. She put it on collard greens. Like, come on. Like, that is the most stereotypical. Her mother is Indian, like from India.
Yeah.
Her father is Jamaican. Like, where's collard greens even in those cultures? Mm-hmm. I mean, I could see if she pulled out some oxtails and some curry or whatever, it would have kind of like went together. But I just wanted to put a name to it. It's called identity politics. And a lot of these politicians, they do that when it comes time to get black people to those polls. Right. They want to make us feel like they are with us or whatever.
By dangling hot sauce, collard greens, fried chicken, dashikis, whatever they think caters to us. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see them come out with a straight up afro and like, already with the.
I saw a meme that calls her Kamala Dozo. Remember that?
Yeah. That white
name. Something Dozo. I'm gonna look her up, but she was pretty much a white woman acting like she was black for years.
Oh yeah, yeah. She really did look black. But here's the thing about that. Okay. It's like really weird for me because it's like I can understand someone adopting a culture and feeling like, you know what, this is who I am deep down inside. Because there's no difference between a transgender person that feels like they're a man or a woman. So you can't support one and then tell the other, oh, you can't be black because you're not black. But if you're a man and you want to be a woman, it's okay to chop off your penis and use taxpayers' dollars to get the surgery.
Rachel Dolezal. That was her name. The lady that was working for the NAACP for years and was not even black.
Yes.
Had two parents. Mm-hmm. Not comparing Kamala. Not saying that we comparing Kamala to that, but that's the whole like appropriation that happens, or the pandering, or the, identity politics that happens when you're trying to get Black people to feel like they need to vote for you. It's in their best interest. But do they have our best interests? That's what we're going to talk about today.
Right.
Do they? Right. Do they?
Oh man, but yeah, of course I've read up on her, her prosecuting of African Americans, and it's not a good one. You know what I'm saying? It's not a great one at all, actually. And it's just like I said, I can have my my issues with her and things of that nature. I just don't want it to be a situation where, like, most people have been talking about the validity of her being Black. Like, I'm trying to figure out, why does that even matter anymore at all? Because when you elect Caucasian candidates, ask them how European are they. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't matter, if you don't have their background, if you know their background and you know what they stand for, that's all that really matters. So when it comes to ethnic people, where they come into politics, they always about what color are they, and it's kind of leading into a colorism thing. Oh, she light skinned, so she mixed with some Barack Obama's mix, so he's not technically all the way Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that good stuff. It's a lot that goes with that. You know what I mean? I think really it should just be based upon what your qualifications are, where you stand, and that should be that. But when it always comes to us, it's always about, we always asking ourselves, are they Black enough? Because when Al Sharpton was then running for president, man, they shut him down real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because
are we asking, are they Black enough, or who's asking? Because I don't really feel like Black people are doing that. I feel like the politicians are the ones that's putting themselves in these "I'm Black enough for you to accept me" categories. I don't feel like Black people are saying that.
Yeah, they put it out there like it's somebody in the political field. They put it out. Somebody puts it out there, and then you see all these memes and stuff, and all these stuff on social media. That's all I've been seeing is about the validity of her, how Black she is, because she's one parent's from Jamaica, and one parent's Indian. Like, she would be technically Black. And even if we want to simplify it and even look at it, if you looked at her on the street and just on a Black person versus a white person, you would look at her initially and be like, she's a Black woman. You wouldn't think anything else.
She doesn't look like a Black woman to me.
She doesn't look like
no. Especially if I saw her with her family. Her son is like blonde. Her husband is white. She does not look Black to me. I'm not saying that she's not qualified for the job because of her race. I have, my best friends are light skinned and they identify as Black, but I know them. So it's different. When you get to know someone and you know who they are, their culture, Black is not just a color, and we know that. It's a heritage, it's a culture, it's a way of life. So I don't know her way of life, because in 2016, I think it said first Native American running for president or something like that, or vice president, and now 2020, and it's fast forward, first African American woman. So I think they are switching races based on the narrative. What is it going to? What is her being Black going to gain? It's going to gain Black people votes right now. So I think that's the problem.
I feel like it's not just them. I feel like she did it to herself too. Like, she went on a Breakfast Club and changed her whole vernacular. Like, she went on there speaking in Ebonics, talking like, saying, how she used to smoke weed and she's Jamaican, like her father and her grandfather and all these people is from Jamaica. So of course, what type of question did she ever smoke weed? She did that to herself. Then she got caught in a lie. This is a little old, but not everybody is up on, current events. So I'm gonna just say it again. She got caught in a lie. Here's the tea. Charlamagne asked her, okay, so you were smoking, when did you smoke weed? She was like, when I was in college. So he said, okay, so what kind of music did you listen to when you was when you was smoking weed in college? She was like, I used to listen to Tupac and Snoop. Now let me just pull, because I had to do the research, okay? Kamala graduated from Howard University. Kamala graduated from Howard University in 1986. She then went on to University of California Hastings School of Law and graduated with her Juris Doctor in 1989. Tupac, okay, because Tupac's first album, Tupacalypse, came out November 12th, 1991. This is what? I'm not good in math. This is like 2 years after, almost 2 years after she graduated from college. So did she go back to college after 1981? And then Snoop Dogg, okay, his first album was released November 23rd of 1993. So she was smoking weed in college, listening to Snoop Dogg and Tupac. She went in a time machine and Back to the Future to do these things.
Or she was smoking that bit of weed that she forgot what music was playing.
Exactly. She was fucking Jimmy.
She was high on the Breakfast Club. Evidently, she couldn't remember when she was smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we all know politicians. That's the name of the game. Lie, panza, do whatever you gotta do to gain vote that you need to, gain the control, the power. My whole thing is that us as people, I feel like we just gravitate to whoever says the rejects. Like, for instance, Amber Rose, she was kind of rejected. She never had a place. She never had a lane. Was she white? Was she black? Was she Puerto Rican? Was she whatever? So when she didn't have her lane, automatically black people just accepted her. Whether she was a hoe, a home wrecker, it didn't matter. It was, she's black to us. And that's what we do. We take any reject of a person. I'm not saying Kamala Harris is a reject, but we take any reject of a person that doesn't have an actual identity. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm getting ready for the commercial, y'all. We gotta pay these bills.
We gotta pay these bills, so yes, I'll go run the commercial.
Yes, run this commercial, baby.
Request verification of the debt and ask for a cease and desist required by law. Edmund Gary of Follow Me will monitor and watch your credit, addressing issues as they arrive to get you back on track for a good FICO score. Call Edmund Gary today at 404-437-2028 for a personal consultation on credit repair. The best cards for rebuilding your credit, second chance bank accounts, and how to buy a home. Edmund Gary, owner of Follow Me, says that credit is not forever, and I can fix it. Follow me.
Follow me.
Yeah, shout out to Edmund Gary. Please follow him over to his website to get your credit repaired. But yes, like I was saying, I feel like black people, we just take whoever and whatever and claim them as our own.
That's right. Better late than ugly, baby. Because, we always late.
CP time. And not just because you're late doesn't make you black either. No.
That's for sure.
But yes, there's so much going on out there in the news and just culture vultures, from the Kardashians, the freaking, what's the Kim Zolciak and them, where they pump up their lips and, make themselves look more ethnic.
Well, can I talk about the Kardashians for a second? Look, I'm trying to fix this backwards camera thing is a situation, man. I don't know which shoulder I'm trying to fix. Okay. Now, I just want to shed some light. Now, I did some research on this Kamala lady. Mm-hmm. And what I think is important is for Black people, yes, know your rights, go out, you want to go out and vote, but you also want to be informed about who you're voting for. Don't fall victim to, he has hot sauce and she black, so I'm gonna vote for her. What policies does she stand behind? What is her history? What is her track record? You know, she was a U.S. Attorney General in California. She was district attorney, I believe. And she fought tooth and nail, okay, to not bring people to justice that were wrongfully accused. You know, she backed behind these police officers that were falsely incriminating people. There was a guy, believe his name was David Cooper. Let me just make sure before I say it. But anyway, he didn't hit mainstream media until Kim Kardashian went to the jail to actually bring light and press to his situation. This man has been on death row since the 80s for killing 4 people. He's on death row with 4 counts of murder. And her office, whoever Kamala was working for, denied every request for DNA testing to be done to exonerate him.
Yeah, her company was blocking evidence to get him off, and they had to like subpoena her to give it up. So there's some theory behind that, as well as the Fruitville Station. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that movie, but the guy that died in Fruitville Station, she was also on that case and let those cops off. But go ahead, Melissa. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the fact that, you know, Black male incarceration right now is that it's actually lower. Allegedly, is lower than it was in 2011 and 2006. I think it has dropped, but Black men still take up majority of the prisons. You know, and bringing her into office, is that going to help Black people if she has a track record of not really even looking into these cases where people have been wrongfully accused, you know, or people that are owed money that were released? I believe there was a reality show star that was wrongfully convicted, and he was awarded, you know, money because of that. Like, he won the case, and she was fighting why he shouldn't get it. You know, and like, these are Black people that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, why? I feel like if she went to Howard University, which is an HBCU. She's a Black woman, but at the same time, you know, a lot of Black people, Black families are being affected by their sons and husbands and uncles and cousins being arrested and guilty until proven innocent. So, you know, why did she choose to be on a side where, you know, you're not really addressing the broken criminal system or the broken prison system? Why be on that side? Why not be on the side where Black people need you to fight for them and fight for their innocence? You could choose any side of law. So my question is, now all of a sudden, has she been reformed? Does she now have Black people's interests in the back, you know, her top priority?
And the funny thing is that it's, I think, for a lot of people, like I said, even with history, even with Joe Biden's history, you know what I'm saying? He definitely wasn't a leader when it came to minorities and laws that was put in place and he signed into. And, you know, as much as I could be like, okay, cool, I could just.
I'm sorry, Joe, can I, real quick, his name was Kevin Cooper, the guy that's on death row right now, and I said David, so I just wanted to correct myself real quick. His name is Kevin Cooper. Y'all can look him up. He's on death row right now. Okay, Joe, sorry.
It's all good. You know, with Biden and with Ms. Harris, and, you know, with the combination of them and the things that they've done and things of that nature. As much as I could say, I could dig into them and be like, okay, I can find all the wrong things they've done. I do believe that at some point people are going to have to allow people to have redemption. You know what I'm saying? Because we all make mistakes. We all do things at different periods of our lives. And you got to allow yourself to have the opportunity to make up for your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's going to be forgotten. It's a thing you got to still keep an eye on. But I think at some point we're going to allow people to make mistakes and then allow them to be forgiven. You know what I'm saying?
But
And
don't you think that Black people are like, we're like the most forgiving?
I mean, I think that goes in general. I know us as a culture, yeah, we overly forgiving. I think at some point though, when it comes down to us and we put in these situations, we everybody look at us and give us a second chance, and a lot of people don't. And but it doesn't mean I don't think it means we need to stop allowing that to happen. You know what I'm saying? If she doesn't do what she's supposed to do, then there's ways of getting her out of that position. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, B. Wait, I want to hear what B thinks about because you said a mouthful.
Okay.
I want to know what is she supposed to do for Black people? Why is it that someone always has to do something for us? Why aren't we the ones that are not making a change? I can't sit here and say that we're all innocent, because Blacks, whites, whoever, they're guilty people in all races. However, I keep hearing this. What is this politician going to do for us? When honestly, sometimes we have to take not sometimes, all the time. We have to take accountability for our actions and stop relying on politicians to clean up our shit. We're the ones that's putting our foot in the shit. So we got to step around it and figure out a way to stop being in these situations where we're being arrested and the laws are against us. I mean, I'm not speaking on the innocent people that's locked up right now. I think that the prisons definitely need a reform. However, we are still out there committing crimes and then crying that the system is against me. And that's not the case all the time. We got to stop doing these fucking crimes. Honestly, I'm sorry to say.
I mean, I agree. I agree that you should not, you say a bad association spoils good habits. That used to be an old saying back in the day. But let's just be real. There's a lot of the times where, what was that guy's name? I always get his name messed up. Fernando
Castile.
Fernando Castile. He was like literally shot in front of his girlfriend and his child because he was pulled over for a broken tail light or something. They accused him or stopped him because they thought that he, suspected him of robbery. Mm-hmm. He told the officer on the webcam or the dash cam, whatever, that he had a license to conceal, that he had a weapon in the car, and they shot him. Now when it comes to issues like that, where you're innocent and you're being shot down because one officer has not been trained properly, the officer is scared or whatever and wants to kill you. When it comes to police reform, and we have these people in office that have a track record of siding with police anyway, how is that good for, the direction that we're trying to go as far as getting these police officers trained properly so that they're not, shooting first and asking questions later? That's my concern. It's like there's so many different people that Biden could have chose to be his running mate. But I feel like with all of the female empowerment and Black Lives Matter and all of this stuff, he is using her, and saying, okay, people are gonna vote for this black. I'm gonna get the black vote now, even though I put my foot in my mouth for the past few months. I'm gonna put this black woman next to me. Now they have no choice but to know that I'm on their side. When she's not really on our side,
Yeah, I think so he could have.
it's like that. I'm tired of like these politicians. Like, at least with now, I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not a political supporter, period. But with Trump, you know, he's like is a bigot. You know that he has like, you know, certain views. He don't care what come out his mouth. My issue is these politicians that try to like pull the wool over our eyes and make us feel like, oh, I'm one of y'all, I'm this and I'm that, but not really giving us anything to work with that's going to benefit us moving in an upward motion.
Right. And then, you know, and also too, like, I know, you know, with Brandy, when you say, you know, it takes us to, you know, and not allow other people to pull us out of these situations. It still takes other people too to get. I think that's part of it. That's a percentage of it, of where, yeah, it's our responsibility personally, but it's also our politicians in placing these laws, that's in placing the right people in place in order to get things on the right track. Because, you know, just like the example Melissa made, we can't control something like that. That's policing, that's training, you know what I'm saying? And he did everything by the book, and as far as what he was supposed to do, informing the officer what he had and what he was trying to do, and he still overreacted. And I believe there's a lot more situations like that than not. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm not saying, oh yeah, like just like when Barack came into office, they thought it was like we just about to get reparations up in here, but you know what I'm saying, and that wasn't the case at all. And it shouldn't be the case, because as a president, your job as a president is to serve all people and not a particular group of people.
It's actually not to serve anybody. Well, it is to serve, but it's first and foremost to protect. So people get it twisted. The president does not have a lot of say-so on anything. You know, when it comes to war, yes. But it's just the face of a whole bunch of complaints, and he submits a bill and an act just like anyone else and prays that Congress approves it. Like I said, it's accountability. I don't give a shit how many times we flip it. Y'all going to be mad at me for saying this, but the guy that you just mentioned, what's his name? Philandro, right? Philandro, right? The one that said, yes, the cops were 110% wrong. But back to that accountability. If his taillight was not out, he would have not got pulled over. Not saying that the cop was right, but he wouldn't have got pulled over. And those are the things: black, white, yellow, green. It doesn't matter. We do things just like me. I'm running around right now with a freaking expired inspection on my car for months. Like, and if I get pulled over,
you have for months.
If I get pulled over and I got a ticket, you're not going to see me on this podcast next week. Like,
yeah, but you know you're expired.
Blah blah blah. I'm gonna say, damn, I should have got my shit fixed, because if not, I wouldn't have got this ticket. I'm not justifying police shootings. I'm not justifying none of that. What I want us to do as a people, I want us to stop relying on politicians and these imaginary people to fix our problems. What we have to do to fix our problems is, one, fix ourselves, and two, recognize that these mother effers are not for us. We need to get into those positions of power, like we mentioned before. We need more black lawyers, more black politicians, more black Senate, Congress people. We need to get more people in those positions, and that's how, to me, it will work. That's the only way.
I want to circle back to the whole like parts. I want to circle back because a tail light is like kind of, I'm sorry, like if you don't, there's no way for you to know that your tail light is out unless somebody is a good Samaritan. Like somebody said to me before, like, hey, did you know your tail light was out? Thank you, I appreciate it. Now I could go. Listen, now I can go. No. I don't have nobody to drive my car. I don't have anybody to drive my car for me to stand in back of the car when they drive. Hold on. No way, because you can't cut me off, because when you start talking, like nobody can hear me.
I just want to make one point about that tail light that I forgot, but go ahead.
But what I was saying was, you can't fault this man for not knowing that. Who knows if the tail light just went out that day, that morning, the day before, whatever. That's no excuse. Now, if you want to sit here and talk about the drug dealers on the corner, you know, getting pat down, frisk and search and all of those, Do they deserve to get locked up? Yes. That's taking accountability. But I'm sorry, there's no accountability for somebody not know. Because if it was a black, there was literally videos of people fighting police, older white women fighting police, older white men getting in the police car and driving off with his life, and this man is shot and killed for a broken taillight. Like, it's no comparison. And that's exactly why we need people in office to fight against, for police reform, just so that we don't have these issues.
No one is saying that him having a broken taillight justified him being killed. You said he didn't know he had the broken taillight. Now, the cop could have been pulling him over to tell him, you have a broken taillight. When he pulls him over, there was a child in the car and his wife, right? And he was smoking a blunt. So that might have prompted the cop to say, why are you smoking with a kid in the car? That's the point I was trying to make when I was trying to interrupt you, and I apologize. But when he pulled him over, he could have simply been, hold on, the cop could have been a Samaritan and said, yo, your taillight is out. But when I pulled him over, he was smoking, and that escalated the issue. Once again, I'm not saying it justifies anyone to be killed over anything at all. But what I'm saying is there's things that lead up to stuff, and we always want to erase all of that and then automatically say, you know what I'm saying? He was killed because he was a black man. But we forget about all the other variables. Like I said, the tail light is out, they pulled you over. Hey, sir, your tail light is out. Oh, you're smoking a blunt? Oh, you got a kid in the car? Do you have a gun? And then it escalated. Those cops need to be reformed. Those cops are scared. Those cops are pussies. Those cops don't know what they're doing. You're absolutely 110% right. Did he deserve to lose his life? No. The accountability? Yes. You should not be riding around with a broken taillight while smoking a blunt with a kid in the car. Am I wrong for that? I'm not wrong for saying that.
You're not wrong for saying it, but as far as like saying that it was like almost like justifying it, like
part. You want to skip past that part and go straight to black man.
No, but I listened to the audio. I didn't skip past nothing. I listened to the audio. I listened to the audio of what happened from the time that policeman got out of the car until the time that he shot fired those shots. And as far as it escalating, that police officer overreacted. Regardless of if there was I don't care if he was smoking crack in the car. Like, you pull that man out the car, handcuff him, throw him in the back of the freaking, he didn't even, it's not like he had the gun in his hand. The gun was in the glove compartment. Right. It wasn't visible.
Yeah, and on top of that,
hold on, but all those points that y'all just that you guys are making, you're making those points, right? Perfect. Mwah. How the hell is a politician? How is a politician going to rectify those issues? That's my whole thing. They don't give a shit. They want us to be in those particulars. Go ahead.
You gotta be at least on board with trying to get the people that have been already wrongfully convicted in an already broken system to be freed. Like, you can't come into office fighting for people to stay in there saying, I'm not looking at the evidence. We don't need new DNA tests. This person doesn't need a settlement, even though they have proven, they have appealed their case and proven that they're innocent. They still don't deserve no money. You need to at least be on board with people that have been wrongfully accused to get justice. If you're not on board for somebody getting justice that was wrongfully accused, how you going to be on board for people that haven't even been accused of anything yet, but have the potential to? That have the potential to be locked up just because the color of their skin, just because they in the wrong place at the wrong time, just because they dressing like a hood person and being stereotyped. And then at the same time, you putting hot sauce on your collard greens, pandering to the stereotype of Black people that you're not even protecting or even care about or want to associate yourself with.
Are we falling for every time? What you was gonna say, Joe? Sorry.
Yes, cool. So get in, because I know it's a heated topic, boy. Y'all going.
And this is why I don't do politics. Like, this is we love this stuff. I'm just
about abortion and kill
I
him.
just give her what she want. Okay, she want all of this drama. I want to talk about love and relationships.
Relationships, right? All right. So what I was gonna say is that, I have my own personal experiences with police, and it was 2 times actually where I was just driving on the main road, plenty of traffic. They just pulled me over with my friends, and he's just like, hey, I'm asking him how come I get pulled over. He said your tag light is out. It's like tag light, I didn't even know it was a light on for the tag. So he was like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. So he checks my stuff and all that good stuff, brings it back. He was like, yeah, we just out here looking for, people with felonies and stuff like that and warrants. So they don't justify you pulling me over though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, so it's just those situations. It trickles up. I can even go to something that's even like near and dear to me. In my local county, as ran by a black police chief, they had a thing where the arrests were going down, so they had a quota system. Actually, it was in Atlanta. It wasn't in my local area, and they actually was telling the officers, okay, if you could bring up the arrest, get all the citations up, we'll throw you out barbecue. Like, for real, that's what we doing now. We throwing barbecues to ruin people's lives. You know what I'm saying? So that goes from policy and people that's in office, the sheriff, the people above that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, wow, they really like.
They better have some watermelon, some hot sauce,
He gonna throw you a barbecue. And then there was another situation where I had another cop pull me over. Same thing. And then since it was the second time that happened, he was like, hey, your tag light's out. So it's like 4 a.m. And I'm like, okay. And so he just looking me up. I'm like, I'm always legit. And then I go back there when he pulls off, my tag light is not out. So it's definitely out here. Everybody's having total experiences. You know what I'm saying?
I don't deny it. I come from the Bronx. I lived in the hood. I've watched my friends. I've been in situations before myself. I'm not saying that it's not out there. What I'm saying is politicians don't care for us. They don't.
Oh, yeah.
They don't. And the ones that they do put in office do not look like me, you, or Melissa. If you think about it, the ones in the higher power are always watered down black people, even down to President Obama. His mother was white. Kamala, she's Indian and 1/4, 1/8 black. I don't feel like they're not going to pick freaking.
She's half black. Her father's Jamaican.
100% Jamaican? Because I read he wasn't 100% Jamaican when I looked it up. But it doesn't even matter. What I'm saying is, like, Omarosa, she was one of the people that were, very tied to the White House, and she got a lot of heat. And I don't know if it's because she was a brown-skinned sister, or was it because they didn't like her policies? So that's how I feel about the whole colorism and hot sauce in your bag thing, because that was the original topic. It had nothing to do with police killing. We already know the cops kill.
But
We know these things, but we're all screaming all of this. But guess what the Democrats are pushing for? Defund the police. So once you defund a group of people, do you think that they're gonna really conform and protect us? No, they're gonna fucking really use us as target practice. That's my fear, because I do have a black son that drives around, and I don't know. Like, we're putting out these negative narratives, like defund the police. You're a cop killer. Not all cops are killers, and not all black people are bad and riding around with guns. So it's like these stereotypes that we're putting out there, and it's scary.
All right, let me put some out there real quick. What's your opinion about Kanye West? What do you think he's doing? As far as him being from the hood and him being associating himself with Trump, and then the rumors of him conspiring to take away votes from the Democratic Party to distract, have Trump be elected. Like, because they brought it up, on the news that he met with Jared Kushner, and it's just a whole nother thing. And then all of a sudden they talking about how they trying to get him on the ballot for the things that he's doing. Like, I think it was like they forged signatures to get on the ballot, and it was found out it was illegal. So he would be playing with him being truly black. You know what I'm saying?
He's naturally black to me. Right. I'm sorry. Once you start going outside your race and all this extra shit, I don't really feel like you have black people's interests at heart. It could be a political stunt. I don't know. I don't take that shit seriously.
I'm not going to let y'all stay here and talk about Kanye. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let it happen.
Kanye should keep making music, keep making clothes. You can have a political opinion, but I just don't take them seriously. I don't want another celebrity politician in office. You know,
this is why I'm not going to let y'all sit. You see what our sponsor said? Kanye has a mental illness, and that's why I'm not going to.
Everybody has.
That's why I'm not going to sit here and allow y'all to talk about Kanye like that. Kanye, all right. Anyway, back to the pandering. Okay. Hillary, I just want to, because I wrote it on a sticky note, so I need to say it, okay? I don't like, and it's not just because, you know, Kamala is a black woman and we giving her a hard time. Like, all of these Democrats, okay, always trying to pander to the black vote. Hillary went on Ellen doing the nay-nay and the Dougie and the teach me how to do. What else she was doing? Whip it. Now watch me. Now watch me. Nay.
Yeah, I think she was twerking at one point too.
Why do we allow that to happen?
Why do we allow it to happen?
Yes, like why did we make Hillary Clinton feel like it was okay to be talking about she got hot sauce in her bag swag and doing the whip and a nay-nay? She's setting the tone. Well, she set the tone for all of these other Democrats to come because, you know, Obama did the same thing. Obama would get up there and start singing gross spirituals and, you know, just like,
remember when Bill Clinton was playing the saxophone? Like, people just we are so good.
Yeah, like I just feel like we need to bring. I mean, I know we all over the place on this podcast, but it's like just to bring awareness to what is happening. You know, we as Black people, we need to be educated. We need to go. Like our phones work on more things other than Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. Like we need to use Google and look up these people and find out what it is that their policies are. What do they stand for? How can we benefit and hold these politicians accountable? Like in order for you to get our vote, I need to see X, Y, and Z. When Barack Obama was president, we kept hearing he was president for 8 years. We kept hearing, oh, wait, just hold on. It's coming.
You know what else we kept hearing in the background? The subliminal message, Black president. First Black president. That's all we need as Black people to hear. He's Black. So automatically we just like, if he's Black, he's one of us, he got our back. And that's not the issue. Christian Negroes, that's not always the issue. Not every Black person has your back. Just like we dogged out Candace Owens several times, we feel like she uses Black people for her political gain. It's the same thing for some of these Democrats. Once a Black person is on the Democrat ballot, automatically they got to be for Black people, and a lot of times they're not for us. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then, I mean, and how you feel about Martha Stewart saying precision money?
Well, you know what? That's different because she's on Snoop's show. She has a show with him. It's a little different. She's not doing it like she's not running for president and saying that.
Yeah.
But I mean, said you're not Black if you don't vote for me. No one said anything about that. Like he was on the radio like, "Oh, you're not really Black if you don't vote for me." What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, he's a little touched. You know what I'm saying? And you know.
And Bird, wasn't he a grandmaster, one of the grand wizards of the KKK? That's Biden's right-hand man. No one brings that stuff up because he's a Democrat and he's got hot sauce in his bag. So automatically, we put our blinders on, our headphones, we don't hear it because we see the hot sauce.
Right, but I mean, you know, at the same time, you know, there are people out here that's deal with a president that's just driving by the pussy. So,
You said
It's just
what?
like, you know, and I heard that because I have a friend who says that she chose not to vote for Clinton because she felt like she was hiding a lot of things, and she said she voted for Trump because she felt like at least she know what she was getting from that situation. So if he would have been like, oh, send all the black people back to Africa, you would have been good with that too, because he was being himself. And I was like, it's so much more to it than, you know, me being from New York, y'all being from New York. We might be a little more familiar with Trump because of his policies and things he did while he was doing what he was doing while he was in New York. About his, you know, about his.
Not just doing what he's doing. Trump been scamming since the 70s.
Yeah, all his failed businesses.
Trump is a scammer.
His policies about how he kept or he intentionally discriminated against black people even moving into his properties in New York. And then of course about the Central Park 5, how he put out a full page paper talking about he needed to be executed for a rape.
Mm-hmm.
And still to this day, still won't acknowledge that he was wrong for saying what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And then but black people that still love him, like they think he's the best thing for black people since sliced bread. So, you know, it's I think it's so much displacement and lack of education all over the place, man. Like people, it goes on both sides, not just Democrats. You know, of course, we the easy targets because we're so liberal. You know what I'm saying?
You guys are liberal. Don't put me in that liberal vote. I am not liberal. I'm sorry.
Right.
A long time ago when I saw the things that I was trying to accomplish in my life being hindered and stopped by liberal policies and democratic policies that I do not agree with. I'm not a Republican either. I'm not a conservative. I'm a policy person. If it works, it works. If I see the economy booming and I got more money in my check every month, I'm going for that. And that's what I've seen. We're not going to go with the Trump and the whatever because he said a lot of fucked up things, and so has Obama, so has Clinton. You know, all of these, like I said, all of these politicians have effed up ways about them. But like Mel said in the beginning, I'd rather you be a racist in my face than behind my back. That's my whole thing. You know, there's things that we can get into the Trump and the trading and, you know, all of the things that he's been doing for the economy that people do not highlight. I don't want to bring them up because this topic is really not about that. It's really about colorism in politics and why is it that Black people are so gullible when a person of another race has a bottle of hot sauce or can play a saxophone or who could do the name or the electric slide. You automatically got the Black vote without even putting any effort into the Black community. And that's where we go wrong. And that's what we got to do. Take the blinders off, people. Let's dig into these people's background. I don't have anything negative to say about Harris, Biden, Trump. What I want us to do as a people, like Joe said, do your research, do your history, and find out what policies that they have, and is it going to work for us as a people? That's it. Because y'all gonna get me tight. And I
just want to say that I really like Tamika Mallory. She's a dark skinned woman, and people need to look her up.
Okay. And leave it on.
Tamika Mallory. I mean, I'm saying that because I'm hearing feedback, so that's why I stopped a little bit.
Yeah,
but I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back to the colorism thing. You know, a lot of people are kind of caping for Kamala Harris. You know, is it because she's a good fit for VP? Is it because she's light skinned? Is it because she put a hot sauce on her collard greens? Like, because there's a lot of other people, darker skinned women that have the Black community, you know, in their best interest that are not, or that are equally, you know, controversial. Like, I think you brought up before, Omarosa. When Omarosa, you know, she's extremely dark, not extremely like, you know, not extremely, not like that. But she's in comparison to Kamala, you know. I mean, I'm not being shady. I'm just saying, like, she's dark, and she was like painted like the devil. Like, she was just the most like hated woman. She still is, and I feel like that's the issue too that needs to be addressed. Maybe not on today's podcast because we already been on for 54 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. But no, we need to think. These are things, questions that people need to be asking themselves. Why do you like a person? You know, don't just say, "Oh, this person is one of us." Like I'm gonna, vote for them now. You have to know. You can't just be out there doing things and you don't know why you're doing things. And don't make nobody trip you into voting for somebody either. Like if you don't feel like just because you Black don't mean that you a Democrat. Okay? Like don't let people, you go with what you feel like is necessary or you agree with, not because somebody is the same skin tone as you or the same, or they eat collard greens. Like that's stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that for sure. But hey, like I say, I think we had a pretty good topic.
Yes, we did. Yes, and we was all fired up too.
Yeah, I was going, you know what I'm saying? I'm just over here like a quiet little dog. Like, okay.
I do gotta say one thing. That colorism definitely starts from home. I'm sorry, Joe. I know you gotta go. No, always gotta go. No.
I know we start stretching and then we feel all rushed. It's like, we still talking.
Hey, I'm moving around.
We got 4 minutes. Colorism definitely starts from the home. Being a brown skinned girl, growing up in a brown skin, half Black, half Spanish, half white, whatever neighborhood. Colorism definitely half. We got 3 halves now.
You're a quarter.
Colorism starts from home. We already know the brown paper bag test, the blue vein test. Light skinned girls will always do this, no matter how fly you was as a brown skinned girl. That shit started from home. So we're the ones that have to rectify that and fix that in the home before we go out there and start saying that that's white people doing it or another race. Because none of this would even be a topic right now if we didn't have that strong foundation from home, and instead of separating us from light to the darkest. That's all us. That's something
Agree.
Yeah, because I like I said, I've seen some documentaries where they did interviews with kids in the UK, like African American kids. I said African American in the UK, some Black people in the UK, and it was about dating, and it was like, I will not date a girl unless she's light skinned. Like literally, they won't date anything else but light skinned women. And they were like, why? Well, I just find them more attractive. I think dark skinned or brown skinned women are not attractive. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like, there's attractive women in all shades, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So
they really limit themselves, and there was a thing, even to the point of in Africa, I seen a lot in Africa too, where they're using or in a lot of the Caribbean countries where they're using skin lightening cosmetics. That thing is crazy. Right. Even down to Sammy Sosa. The dude is Spanish. He's Puerto Rican. This dude,
he went from this to this.
He looked like a monster.
Gray, like how do you gray? Like
he doesn't even look like a real person. Like,
like he went from this, like the Black, to like this.
But that comes from home, because Dominicans are known for being very racist when it comes to having dark skin. The darker you are, the more hated you are in DR, especially in India. Oh my God! Speaking of Indians, they do not like Black people like that. Like the darker brown is considered less than.
But colorism is not just in African culture, African American culture. Like every culture has colorism. If you're from Peru or South America, if you're Indian, even like Bollywood, fairer skinned people, they look, y'all. I'm slurring a little bit.
Right.
Fairer skinned people are across the globe are favored over darker skinned people. It's not just the Black community. And we have to cut ourselves some slack on that too, because It's not just us. It's every culture except for like Italian. I want to say Italian because what I feel like with white or Caucasian people, like the darker you are, the more beautiful you are. But people of color, they don't feel that way. No. It's like the lighter you are, it's like everybody wants what they can't have. Like people with straight hair want curly hair. People with curly hair want straight hair. So
and then the funny thing is,
I just don't want us to feel like it's just black people. Like this exists and it's a pan-cultural thing.
It definitely, but we focus on us only because we are speaking for black people. So I always, whenever we talk to our listeners, it's not just a black issue, but on this topic, on this show, it is a black issue because I'm speaking to my people, for this show. And for people listening to know that we do have other struggles, not just what the media is putting out there, because we're not those people that the media puts out there. We're not those people with those, we don't all have the same issues. There's other things that go on in our lives that are issues that we need to rectify. And the first thing is get some more Negroes in office. Get them in office. Get them in politics. We need it. We do.
And eating hot sauce and collard green is not a prerequisite for you to be for the black people. Because as I said in the beginning of the podcast, I don't eat hot sauce, but I'm black, baby. And I love black men. Okay, I love black men too, but I don't eat hot sauce.
Yeah, I even like I said, even in my little area that I moved to, in this county, it used to be a good old boy county, and now we have a black mayor, we have a black police chief, we have a black, everything's black. City council is mostly all black now, and they actually got caught on camera from an old city council member saying that you can't have. They caught somebody hot mic'd them and he said you can't have too many black people in government because it always goes bankrupt, and there's no evidence of that at all anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And boy, it was a firestorm.
Black people don't know. Black people, we got the stereotype. I'm not gonna say I agree or disagree.
I already know,
but black people have the stereotype of not knowing what to do with their damn money. And so if we want, like B said earlier, like B said earlier, as far as like being accountable, if we want, there's certain stereotypes that we can help rectify. And that's why you gotta hit up Edmund Gary to fix your credit.
Right.
Start putting some money in the bank. Start putting some money in the bank, investing, and stop spending your whole paycheck on looking for the block.
And stop putting them in bills and all the baby's names. Because that's what you say. I said, stop putting the phone bills and legal bills in your baby's name.
And then
I don't know why you 2-year-old got a Verizon bill, but that's fucked up. Okay? Please stop it.
And then just in case too, I'm gonna put that out there. You're probably going to like me for this, but having Jordans is not property value.
No.
So, okay, I'm gonna take a step back.
Jordan, all that stuff that y'all wearing out there, no, it holds no value. Cars don't hold value. Please invest in some stocks and fix your credit. Check out Edmund Gary. Follow him.
Gary all day.
Fix your credit so you're not buying a 2002 BMW for $700 a month with a 32% APR.
With $5,000 down.
No money down. Or no money down. All you gotta do is make $200 a week. That's what they be saying on the commercial.
Crazy.
Make wiser choices, Black people, and then we can start as a community to remove these negative stereotypes. But the stereotypes always have some truth to it. So, like B said earlier, it's time to be accountable. Stop putting. There's like a commercial where I am in North Carolina, where people they saying they'll take your unemployment check to put your rims on on quad pay or like installment. You could pay for your rims in installments. Like, do you need rims?
Oh my
God. Rims? Like, you on unemployment. You supposed to be getting a job. Like, why are you buying rims? This is what Black people need to be holding themselves accountable for. You on unemployment. You're supposed to be paying your rent, buying clothes for the kids.
You're supposed to be looking for a job when you're on unemployment. It's to hold you over. It's I'm gonna hold you over until you get your job.
Well, I'm gonna give me some rims and some gold fronts.
Oh God! But I'm gonna tell y'all right now because I know we're wrapping it up. But I guarantee you, by September, October, you're gonna see that repo man on every corner, snatching up these BMWs and these Teslas that everybody got on that $600 extra week unemployment. But anyway, back to reality.
We had a good show, though.
We definitely had a good show. We want everybody to take away from this that don't let people pander our votes. Stay true to what you believe in, not because someone got a bottle of hot sauce in their bag. Know who they are as a person. Shout out to everybody who listens to us every Sunday, who like, share, comment, who participate. We can't do this without you. And I'm loving it, and I'm happy. And yes.
And I wanted to say this in the beginning of the video, but if you're watching this on YouTube and you made it this far, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Right.
And if you're watching us on Facebook, please go to MelBee's Tea and a Cup of Joe on YouTube. We need subscribers. Send the cash right here. Yeah. Sorry, Joe. That's your thing, right?
Yeah. You just go ahead, hit us up, support us. Y'all can drop whatever amount it could be. It'll all be helpful to keep the show running. MelBee Joe, Cash App, all y'all Cash Apps, so ain't got no excuse. And pretty much, go ahead and support your people. You know what I'm saying? We love
Black business.
Yeah, we love coming on Sunday. We love sharing, having these podcasts, and it's dope for us. It's like it could be dope for y'all. And we love hearing feedback. And just support us and make sure when you get an opportunity, share our show with your friends, your family, and keep the shares going. Because we might be nationally syndicated in a minute, so you never know.
We will be syndicated in a minute. So
right. Manifest.
You heard it here first.
Right.
And we like to leave our listeners off with affirmation. So my affirmation today is be true to yourself, be true to your vote, be true to your word. Don't go off of what anybody else says, and do your research. That's my affirmation.
I'll let you go, Mel.
My affirmation is focus on your money. Get your money right, okay? Fix your credit. Use Edmund Gary to fix your credit. Stack money. Don't buy Jordans. Don't buy rims.
Okay. My affirmation is if people tell you about themselves, you better believe it and don't ignore it, because people will slowly tell you about themselves. And you'll just be like, a lot of these guys just ignore it, and they are actually telling you about themselves because they actually are who they say they are.
The first time.
Yeah, that's like the saying, believe them the first time.
Yep. Do your research. Do your research on everything. Not just people, but everything. You know what I'm saying?
Everything. But later, y'all, I had a wonderful conversation. Wonderful podcast as always. A wonderful drink. Feeling myself.
My cup is empty, but I gotta show this to y'all. Better late than ugly.
Queen Bee, because But later, y'all. Next Monday.